phone now because apparently I don't know what the hell I'm doing with OBS. I'm trying to do it that way. So let's get this going here. I will send a link out. All right. Okie dokie. Let's try to get this framed up right. That'd be a good idea. Okay. All right, here we go. Inking away. Spent so much time with the failed first stream that I could have been, you know, pretty much done with this already. I have an actual light box thing, actually one of those like light pads that was like, you know, the real thin ones and all that everyone seems to have now, and it works great, but it's the way all my plugs are plugged in right now, I don't really have a space for it to do this comfortably over here, so I am in fact using my Huion monitor as a light box right now. It's doing an okay job. It's pretty dim. It looks actually brighter on the screen, on the stream, than it does right now, me looking directly at it, but that's fine. I'm seeing enough. I've seen enough. I haven't drawn Carol too many times. I think what? So maybe four or five times only. Not counting like a free comic book day sketch thing, because you do those so fast. Like I don't even remember half the stuff I've drawn on days like that. But for like commissions and all that, I've done one commission where they really wanted it to be the movie style Captain Marvel, and then I did one that was like I did it for a charity thing for C2E2. I also made a print of it, and that was fun. I have a time-lapse video of that on the channel where I covered Danger Zone with Patrick Brower from Challengers Comics in Chicago on vocals, and that was a fun experience, checking that out and doing that. But yeah, not too many other times after that. I think there's maybe a couple con sketches here and there, but nothing nothing much. And she's a fun character to draw for sure, because she works in so many different ways. You can draw her a little more fun like this with a smile and all that, or you can draw her all sparkle fisted up ready to kick some ass. So for the life of me, I do not know why I've chosen to like start streaming some live inks, because I'm so I feel so rusty from inking traditionally, because I've been working digitally so much that I'm just like, oh, let me put myself on as a show right now, because I'm feeling super confident about everything. But this is a quick, small portrait commission, so it's a little bit less pressure. And also, if I screw this one up, I can just redo it when no one's watching, and I won't have lost too much time. I'm trying to avoid drawing the power energy thing right now, because that's kind of like the fun part. So I want to save that for last. I don't want to get jumping right to the super fun parts first. This specific request had Carol with shorter hair, so here we go. I think that's a good look for the character. Probably makes more sense too, because you're flying and fighting around. You want like some extra stuff just kind of like flapping away behind you. Yeah, so initially I was just doing this to kind of test out the streaming software I have, and it's just so laggy, so laggy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with that, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. It's fun doing these live streams, especially with guests. But like, yeah, I don't know. Just one of those things. That's what frustrates me most about technology, is when you do everything as you should and it still doesn't work. Okay. Now this commission is going to be a 5x7, so I'm kind of just drawing over the amount. I'm just going to trim it later. I used to obsess about making sure they, I cut the paper right before the commission and did it that way. I'm like, that's just, I don't know, it just seemed I was putting way too much emphasis on making sure the dimensions of the piece of paper was right. I was like, let me just draw the picture and then I can just trim it down, because that way I can just have these little flyaway things. And then some of the stuff I would draw, it would necessitate, it would be necessary to like have to pull a line a little bit further or whatever, to just kind of get that consistency. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I was like instantly stopping, and because I could put a piece of paper under it and just kind of continue on, but my brain would just be like, no, paper's done, stop the line. So then it would start to slow down before the edge and all that. So yep. Though most people would be like, just draw the damn thing. But as I said before, if I'm not overcomplicating things, I'm not doing it right in my own brain. So full disclosure, just feels super awkward because I don't have like any music playing. I normally have something playing or whatever, but don't want to get any YouTube strikes or what have you with all that. So I'll need to get some uh, general use music or something just to have something on in the background. But again, also why, you know, doing something like this with a guest or something is more fun. So, all right, let's get to this energy thing. Whenever it comes to like drawing like energy blasts or power stuff like this, my brain defaults to like George Perez. Like, you know, may he rest in peace. He's just kind of I don't know, the master of it to me because, and I don't know what this says about me, but it's because so much of it would be like a more perfect kind of circle, and just like everything seems so precise. And when people would draw, you know, energy signatures, like, well, here's some, like, you know, he would draw a woo circle, and then he would have like really nice texture stuff out or whatever, or it would be he would do the curvy dot thing or whatever, but it would be like a nice, you know, circle, and then that just like satisfies my brain completely. But then when people would draw, you know, a energy signature like, you know, something like that, like something crazy, like off, it would just drive me nuts. And not that it's wrong or right, it's just it would drive me nuts. I don't know why. Like it would just be like the wrong way to me. So that's just kind of how my brain works with that. When I was working on my book Pax of Low Country, and one of the characters had, you know, an energy power and stuff like that, I tried to break away from wanting to do it all the way Perez would do it. And I don't know if he picked that up from somebody else or if he was, you know, one of the first guys to kind of do that consistently. But yeah, I tried to purposefully pull away from it just because that was, you know, I was trying to not be so slavish to an idea of how things need to be done and things like that. So, like right here, this part here is just going to be going over where I cut, but there's a good chance if I had cut the paper already, my brain would be like making it more ovally or lopsided, actually, than not. So. I'm not super up on how her energy signature, I guess, is usually defined in the comics. Like sometimes I see it look like a flame, other times it's kind of like this, other times it's more just like kind of glow style stuff. So I don't think I'm doing it wrong. I don't think there is like a wrong way, you know, there's just the way you do things. And but you know how it goes, right? If you're not doing it the way your favorite person did it, it's wrong. That's why I can't draw Wolverine to save my life. Because I'm sure I can do a fine rendition of the character to somebody else's eyes, but to my eyes, if it doesn't look like, you know, Adam Kubert or Mark Silvestri drew it, then it just looks like bullshit. From my end, you know, from my hands. Because, you know, I can look at, you know, O'Neill Yu or, you know, Pepe Larraz and their versions of Wolverine and all that, and yeah, it's fine. But yeah, just if it's coming from my own hands and my own brain, if it doesn't look like those guys, and it doesn't, it never does, it doesn't look right, and I did it wrong, and I should feel bad about it. Okay. If you well that shows up on the stream, but I got a couple little fighter jet dudes here that we're gonna just sketch in real quick. I say dudes, but it could be female pilots, who knows? The general non-gendered dudes is how I kind of go by. You don't have to be a guy to be a dude. Yeah, let's do this some real slight little jets, because you can't have Carol without, you know, a nod to the pilots. Just something quick in the background. When I used to work in Chicago proper, every summer they would have the Air and Water Show, and when I lived in Chicago too, we weren't drastically far from Lake Michigan. So whenever the Air and Water Show would come, the Blue Angels would be flying around, and you know you just hear them just soaring by. I think we're roughly maybe 5 miles from the lake, not very far in the grand scheme of things. In Chicago, that's, you know, a fucking journey, but you know, in most places, you know, you get there pretty easily. But yeah, so it'd just be, you know, around this time, and then the walls would vibrate a bit, and you could see them flying by. It's pretty cool. Though we never went to the Air and Water Show, which was funny to me because my parents would always talk about it, but we never went. That's fine. I'm not a huge fan of standing in large swaths of sweaty people to look at fast things fly by. Alright, I think we've moved on enough here. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see if we have enough light to continue. Alright, that looks alright. Alright, so we can continue working on this. Part of me that just kind of wanted to do this completely silent. Film it kind of like an ASMR type drawing thing, but if I was using my nibs, I would definitely do that, because you get that little sound, and yeah, that'll do it for you. I do feel a little bad just using this screen as a, now an easel, but a light box earlier, and just, yeah, it served its purpose. I mean, this thing came in handy when I was doing some colors and corrections on a lot of stuff, but ever since I got the iPad, this guy has just been a second monitor. Which, it's a nice monitor. It's still a nice HD monitor. It's got good color and all that, but it's just kind of relegated to the status. Though if it decided to start streaming more work and stuff like that, I'll definitely have to start using this again, because it would just be easier to stream the screen than trying to figure out how to do it off the iPad. Because I've seen some contraptions people use to do that, and I'm just like, that just seems like too many dongles and stuff to hook up the iPad to an HDMI screen, and then you output that, and it's just like, that's a lot of work. This commission is for the arguably the world's #1 Carol Danvers fan, Brent Fisher. They wanted me to do this, and I'm more than happy to find myself amongst their collection. I hope they don't mind the small liberties I'm taking with the costume details. Because, I tend to like the MCU costume aesthetic. I think they apply it to way too many, like the same ideas to the too many characters. But overall, I like it, but yeah, drawing it, oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass. At a con, I had someone wanted me to draw a movie accurate Captain America, and I was just like, listen, I'm gonna get close, but it's not gonna be every single detail. Like, this is just nuts. Yeah, especially that cap one, all the buckles, like, yeah, it was just insane. But again, there's people who do it really well, though, that's for sure. And I applaud you. Let me start doing this. Let me just Google this Captain Marvel costume real quick. This costume. Yeah, there's lots of tiny details I have not touched on yet. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. I think vibe's more important than details, right? Again, just to double check a couple things. Right. about wrapped up. Okie dokie. Well, thank you for joining me on this little quick commission sketch situation. If you like this sketch, I am not openly requesting, but I am available. These are $20 plus shipping. And yeah, 5 by 7 inches, portrait sketches. They're always fun to do things like this, just because you get to play more with the character as opposed to like you're trying to think of a cool pose and stuff like that. Portrait sketches kind of just let you do something like this, you know, a wink and a smile, and have some fun with that. And I think it leads to be able to, you know, let some more of the character's personality shine as opposed to, you know, really trying to focus on like a cool image or fight scene or something like that. So, yep, there we go. All right. Are we done? I think we're done. All right, well, thank you very much for watching.